Hey, how are you doing? My name is Shu. I'm a former data scientist and now content creator. I review many gadgets and apps and spend tons of time on social media as part of my job. So I naturally got the habit of reaching for my phone whenever I'm bored or even when I'm supposed to focus. The worst thing was that I was constantly checking my phone even when I'm with my friends and family. So I've been trying to reduce my screen time and use my phone less in general. If you've been following my channel, you might have noticed that I've been talking more about apps and tools that help me reduce distractions like Napkin, Opal, and the remarkable tablet. Recently, I found this pocket notebook called Snapflow from Moft. It's probably smaller than a typical pocket notebook and it can attach to your phone. You might be thinking, why would you need a pocket notebook when you can just use your phone? Well, I thought the same thing when they sent this to me, but after I used it, it was actually perfect for what I needed. Okay, smartphones are awesome. You can watch a movie, listen to music, play games, take notes, take pictures, but they are also distracting and addictive as hell. So I've been using this e-ink tablet called Remarkable when it comes to reading and taking notes. It's great, but it's big and I don't always like to carry this thing around. So I had a bunch of pocket notebooks. I even had a smartphone with a stylus like the Galaxy S23 Ultra, but it's still a smartphone, therefore a big distraction. Anyway, I love having pocket notebooks, but it's kind of hard to find one that's small enough and comfortably fits in my pocket, even when I have a phone and wallet in there. I guess I could put them all in a bag, but I want to go out without anything in my hand. I don't want to carry a backpack or a bag. I know I'm weird, but I like it that way. So this tiny notebook is perfect for me. It's small enough to fit in my pocket with a wallet and a phone. Also, it's magnetic and you can attach to your phone. The pen is also super thin and magnetic, so you don't lose it, which was a common problem with most of my pocket notebooks. The pen kept on missing from them. Anyway, this is great because I can take it out anytime I need it, flip it open and write. You can use it pretty much anywhere, like a cafe, a park, a train, or even at the gym. But why don't I use my smartphone to write? Well, I could, but it comes with risks. The moment I turn my phone on, I see new notifications, new messages, and new emails. In my experience, even just seeing these app icons makes me want to check them out. Maybe I'm really addicted. And before I know it, I end up spending like half an hour on my phone, and I don't want that. Whereas this is just a pen and paper, nothing else. I can write and read what I wrote without distractions. I know it's obvious, but I can't emphasize enough how great it feels to have a place where you can focus on what you're doing without anything shouting at you for your attention. So this notepad can be used in many ways, but I have my own particular way of using it. Since it has two sides, the right side is for a sort of daily log, and the left side is for something more specific. The daily log is where I write down things I did during the day and my thoughts. It can be what I talked about with my friends or something that I saw on the internet. The left side is for when I want to think about something more deeply. For example, when I want to think about something that I saw or read when I'm outside, I write the title of it on the left side and sort of expand on it there. The good old mind maps are also great with this. And in other situations, I was talking to my friend and explaining something to him. It was kind of hard to explain with just words, so I sketched it out on this notepad. I'm absolutely horrible at drawing, but it was enough to help me explain to my friend. Also, I find it really convenient to calm myself down before bed. When I have anxiety and sort of racing thoughts, which I'm sure lots of people experience as well, especially at night, I need to write them down to get them out of my head. But I don't want to use my phone or reach for my laptop or grab my tablet. This notepad is great because it's attached to my phone, which means I can grab it right away and use it without getting the blue light and the temptation for doom scrolling. But it's actually not just for before bed. When I'm upset or angry, I always write down my thoughts before I say or do something stupid and something I will regret. This notebook has been perfect for that because I can grab it and start writing instantly wherever I am. It feels great to draw with a pen like this because you get to capture your ideas more intuitively, which can be hard to do with a keyboard. Again, you might say, just get one of those smartphones with a stylus, but it just it's just not the same. Plus, you get to spread out your notes on a table to see everything you've written, which is handy for when you want to go back and look at something you've written. At the end of each day, I go through my daily log and all of my notes I wrote. A huge problem with using pen and paper is that you can easily forget what you've written, and also it's easy to lose your notes. So I find it crucial to review your notes often. If I find something that I don't want to forget, I can add it to my note app, or if it's a sketch, I can scan it and upload it to the app. And that way I have a backup and I don't need to worry about losing it. Then I can throw away the notes I'm done with that are kept in this storage compartment of the notepad. If you want to keep them, you can put in a box, but I prefer not to clutter my space unnecessarily. Then once I review the notes and save some of the ideas in my note app, I can use them to write my next blog post, YouTube videos, or build on other projects that I have. In my experience, a lot of good ideas come up when I go outside, especially when I feel stuck on something or have a writer's block. This notebook is a perfect companion for those times. And if there are some action items in the notes, I make reminders for them to ensure I don't forget. This is also why it's important to review your notes often, because you might end up not acting on some of your ideas and forgetting about them, which is a shame. I also have an e-ink tablet, but I use it mostly when I'm home because I don't want to carry it around with me. Still, it's very useful when I want to study, read, or think on a bigger canvas. But other than that, I've been using my pocket notebook for a while now. Okay, so who is this for? It might look perplexing why anyone would carry a notepad or notebook around nowadays when they can use their phones. Sure, you can do that, but it's getting harder and harder to do deep work and focus when there are constant distractions around you. There is a limit in just turning off the notifications because it's still tempting to check emails or social media when you open your phone. So this notepad gives you a space for you to just think. It's not a big space, but it's always accessible when you need it. For that, I think this kind of notebook is a great investment for what you pay. Plus, when you're not using it as a notepad, it can be a phone stand as well. Alright, so if you're interested, I put the link in the description below so you can check it out. Okay, thank you so much for watching till the end. I really appreciate you sticking around until the very end, and see you in the next video. Goodbye.